Okay, let's continue the review. Reviewing Unit 3. Remember, teacher is reviewing the grammar and vocabulary knowledge, okay? Because it's the test we are going to have about grammar, okay? The future is the most important part of Unit 3. We studied that Unit 3, will is not the only auxiliary that we use for the future, okay? There are many more, as you can see. Okay, go back to the material, go back to your notes. You took notes. I wrote a lot of examples on board, okay? What in general, what have we studied? We studied that will is used when you are making a decision at the moment. And teacher gave the example, if you were going to buy a pair of shoes, and remember, ladies like to buy shoes. I know I like. There are several pairs for you, and then you are going to buy just one. So you look at them and you make a decision at the moment, and you say, you know what? I'll take those pairs. Okay, I'll take that one. So you see, use will. When you are in a restaurant and you open the menu, you pick up the dish you are going to eat, and then you say to the waiter, I'll have this, I'll drink that, okay? So will, using to make a decision. We also studied that will is when you have a plan, but, sorry, the dog, you know, they are free today, running around the house. Anyway, back to will. We use will when we plan, but don't plan the future, so you don't believe quite much. Actually, you're not thinking, you're just saying, okay? It's when I ask a student, hey, tell me, what are you going to do in 10 years? 10 years. You can't plan, certainly, 10 years. You can have an idea, a vague idea. So you say, oh, I don't know. See, the words I don't know. Or I think. You are uncertain. So will is the best auxiliary to indicate this future. I don't know. I will be a millionaire. I don't know. Maybe I think I will be living here in Brazil. So remember, these are the basic uses of will. Going to is always am, is, are plus going to. This one you plan. You plan before you speak the sentence. Is what you do every single day. You wake up and you can't just go out your house without any plan. So you took a shower because you are going to school. Okay, you are taking an umbrella because you look at the sky and you saw some dark clouds, so it's going to rain. Okay, so going to, it's plan or evidences that make you have a better idea of this future. Okay, present continuous. When do we use present continuous for future? Present continuous is used in future. It's very specific. You have lots of information and it doesn't depend on you necessarily. So you buy a flight ticket, it has your seat, the date you're going to fly, and then I call you and say, hey Bob, let's get together on next Tuesday. And then you tell me, I'm sorry, next Tuesday I am flying to Rome. Okay, so when you say I am flying to Rome next Tuesday, it's very important to say next, tomorrow, or I will think present continuous is the moment, so I can understand its future. If you say I'm traveling next Tuesday, it's a fixed plan. You cannot change it. It's different from going to. Going to, you have a plan. It may happen or not, but you plan. We will have zero idea. You're just, you know, an intention, all right? Simple present. Simple present is used when we are talking about timetable, okay? When I say Vila Madalena bus stops at Guilherme Cottin at 6 a.m. I take the 6 a.m. Vila Madalena bus tomorrow, okay? But you have a timetable. I get to work at 7 tomorrow morning, because you have a timetable, okay? Shall we studied simply this. We use in questions when you are making an invitation or an offering. It's always used with I or we, okay? Remember, students, this is a quick review. Go to the lesson, explore more the contexts, okay? Now, the modal verbs, must, may, might, could, we studied with the sense of probability, possibility when we talk about the future. And teacher said that must is when you go for 100% certain. So, on Monday, according to what São Paulo government says, we must stay at home, okay? So, because of a lot of information, you are pretty sure, okay? When you use may, you go for 50%. Next week, we may be having a presential class, okay? Might, it's less possibility, less probability. These numbers is teacher's invention, okay? It's just to help you out. And could, I like to say 0%. It could be a healthy day in São Paulo tomorrow. Okay. In the negative, the most commons are can't and may not. Can't goes for 100%. I can't leave home tomorrow. Okay. And may not expressing the 50%. Okay. If you have any doubts, questions, you know what to do. There is the WhatsApp or the phone, call me, okay? Prepositions, from lesson 3 on, we have been studying special cases of prepositions. These cases you have to memorize. For example, the official preposition of depend on. There is no explanation why is the preposition on. You just have to go along with it. You have to memorize. So memorize these cases. They are the only ones I can ask for you to complete the exercise in the test. Now, phrasal verbs. Again, I'm sorry, more things you have to memorize. The more you memorize, the better your English gets, student. Grammar is easy because it's comprehensible. But phrasal verbs, the only thing I repeat over and over is make sentence, write down stories using phrasal verbs, okay? That's the best way of memorizing new vocabulary and modern, okay? Unit 4, Unit 4. I recommend you all to go to your notebooks because I wrote a lot on board, lots of examples. I also recommend page 33 on your material. There is a review, but it's a review. First you go to your notes you've taken, read everything, redo the exercises. It's pretty important. Modal verbs, the first thing I told you is study them according to the concepts. When I want to express prohibition, what kind of prohibition? Personal or impersonal? You go for must, be allowed to, okay? Have to, okay? When we want to speak about capacity, ability, we have can, could, be able to. To ask for permission, depending on who you are going to talk to. We have may I, could I, would you mind, might I. It gets even more formal, depends on the circumstances. Modal verbs are dangerous because they depend a lot on circumstances. So memorize them in categories like capacity, possibility, necessary, not necessary. So we have needn't, don't have to, not necessary. Okay, you need, okay, recommendation, advice, you should, you had better, you ought to. In negative form, shouldn't, had better not. Okay, but you needed to have a good knowledge on this. The only way to have this knowledge, students, is memorize. And we have time. Why not doing it? Okay. Prepositions. I'm sorry, but special cases again. You have to memorize one by one, but only those cases teacher has given to you in your material. I'm not going to ask anything I haven't talked about. Okay. Phrasal verbs, more phrasal verbs to memorize. This time all the phrasal verbs come with go. Okay, for me it is one of the easiest list of phrasal verbs so far. Okay, I finished this video class. There is just one more unit to review. It's unit 5 is coming in the next video. Bye bye for now.